lost everything that ever mattered to me. And if we quit now, that's for nothing.
I don't want to see you die, which is why I'm going to leave the room.
I'm gonna kick this off with a nice and complicated two-parter for all of you. So with this movie, can you each name one thing that hardcore D&D fans are gonna be real excited to see represented in this movie, but then also what's something else that you're really excited for D&D newcomers to get to experience for the first time in the film?
There are certain spells that are used, and little tiny details that they add in that I think only D&D players will catch, and I think they did a really good job with that.
Well, I would...
There's some old friends in the movie.
Nice one. There's some old friends in the movie that people will recognize and have, I think, a laugh where they're at. And then I quite like these odd little brain-walking... What are they called?
Rocknon.
The Rocknon?
No, if I said it like gutturally enough, no one would kind of.
The one that the intellect about.
Yeah, the intellect about.
Yeah, the Rocknon.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. There's a couple of innovations that they allowed themselves for the making of the movie that I think will take a lot of the D&D crowd by surprise, but with respect, like they went through all the channels before, inventing their own.
Everyone loves a mimic, and that's in the trailer.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Everyone loves a mimic because everyone hates it.
I've grown I've done like a lot of research over the years. I've never actually played myself, which is very disappointing, but I've watched like a million videos, and the first thing that I ever got obsessed with because I like horror and creatures is the mimic and what it is.
But you're so obsessed with it. Why haven't you played?
This is terrible, but I'm afraid to play things that I am afraid that I'm not good enough at. So I mean, actually, I could throw that. I was going to save a little D&D 101 for all of you, but for someone in my shoes who has never played and might be intimidated to jump in with people who know a significant amount, what would you recommend I do?
I played with my nephew, who's played for. He's 13. He's played for like 4 years. And he writes campaigns, and he plays every week with the same crew of kids that he's played with, and he has these two incredible dungeon masters that lead them in all of their all of their games or whatever. No, I think really what it takes is a good leader, a good dungeon master that's going to lead you on the story. They're like the narrator. They're like what's his name in Princess Bride, who's reading the story to Fred Savage, and then it just takes creativity and imagination. It takes a good improv mind. So I always say it's like an improv. It's yes and. So it's like, and you're thrown on the top of the parapet, and you have a something, and what are you going to do? And you don't argue with it. You just say yes and great, and I'll do that. And you keep it on moving, So I played with my parents. My father's 82, my mom's 76, and we were by 2.5 hours in. We had to end it because it was already 11 p.m. We needed to leave, but all it was joy and creativity and sparking fun and all that. And you'll screw up all sorts of ways. And it doesn't matter because you start right back up again and you start another game. So it doesn't matter at all.
The best thing about the game is you're not doing it right unless you get it wrong. Like that's how it works. So.
I feel like I need to embrace that more in every area of my life.
How about for the two of you? Is there anything that you're really excited for hardcore D&D fans to get to experience in this film?
What do you think?
I was gonna send it to you. Yeah, I think there's so many there's so many different nods to the different species that exist in Faerun. The Aarakocra is one. I think that's in the trailer. That's how you say that, right, Sophia? She acts like she doesn't know more than she does. I always go to her for reference of the D&D lore, but then she leaves me hanging.
But sometimes it's just hard to quell Sophia's excitement,
But there's also like the feline-born creatures, which names escape me right now. The tabaxi.
Now wait, is that the fish one?
That is the...
No, that's
yeah,
the
well, it was
Victim
pulled out of...
Victim of the fish.
I'm mad about the fish.
I know.
The fish is great.
I love this.
Gently.
So cool.
There's a big fish.
It's one of those deep sea fishes, too, with the external,
But
pineal
no one talks
gland.
about with practical effects, so like, it all feels so real and there's an integrity to the movie, but there was also the fact that I was warned that I could lose an arm to this mechanical fish if I did not get my timing right. Like, it could probably have the force to take my arm.
There's a mechanical fish.
Yeah.
I love hearing
Big
about
mechanical
practical
fish.
effects.
Really
Practical
cool
effects,
looking.
deadly practical effects.
Yeah. I mean, they are robots.
I continue to be two-armed, so, I wrangled the fish successfully.
Clearly, you had a lot of wonderful people on set with you, crew-wise, to keep you nice and safe. Chris, I'll go to you now, and I'll warn you, because this question kind of comes from some speculation that I've seen online, and it's something I've been curious about, too. So,
Based on the trailer, we know that there's an in-world adventure that we're all going to get to go on. But I've been wondering, is there anything in the movie that's kind of reflective of the feeling of playing the game? Because a lot of people have looked at your character and the fact that he gives narration in the trailer, and they're thinking that he's going to feel a little like a DM in this experience.
Really, the extent of it, it should be said that the movie is not about people playing the game, and I think that's really important. This is not some sort of meta take on the story. These are about people living within the world of Dungeons and Dragons, going on an adventure with all of the spells and all of the rules that kind of people have to abide by. But as a bard, being that I have no real maybe exhibitable skill other than being a planner, insofar as I plan and kind of put people on different paths and adventures, I would say that would be one component where it is very D&D-like, as if we're playing the game. Isn't that right? I mean, I'll defer to the more D&D.
I think you never break the fourth wall. Like, if what you were trying to get at is the style of the movie like Jumanji? No.
the meta movie is going to be the sequel. And we get to see another side.
I mean,
of the same
that'd
story.
be interesting if they decided to break the fourth wall within the game playing system and put the players of the game as the lead characters in the next D&D film. I mean, you'd be changing the concept completely.
And we'd be out of a job.
But I dig it.
I'm always fascinated by multi-layer worlds like that. We need to learn a little bit about all your characters here. So to not make you give a basic description, can you each tell me what is their greatest strength in their mission, but then also what's their greatest weakness, the one thing that could potentially do them in when they're trying to get what they want in the film?
Simon's greatest strength is Simon has a incomparable strength. Magical strength, like within him. But his weakness is that he has no idea how to wield it because he is bogged down with insecurity. Simon's storyline is very sad. It's very tragic. It's the drama in the film. Is Simon's storyline.
It is, really?
No.
I mean, it has nothing to do with...
I got all that from watching you last night. I did.
It made you cry?
Yes, you did. He's marvellous in the film.
Aww.
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Yeah. You are. Very sweet. You are. He's very clever. Forge is, well, his strength is that he's very charming, very good at making people like him, but his weakness is that actually they all hate him. He has no friends at all.
Yeah. And he cares about having no friends.
Deep down, yeah, so it's awful for him. Yeah. No one really loves him.
Like a true rogue, you say this like you have no hand in why people don't like you in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like there's just no reason for it. It's nothing that the rogue has done or that's happened in the rogue's behavior. You just...
Oh, I had a whole backstory.
Morally pure.
I know, there's a backstory. Yeah. What was it? My...
Character strength and weakness, Regé, what you got?
Character strength and weakness. Much like in a job interview, my character's greatest weakness is that he has no weaknesses. He's a little bit too... He's very, very... powerful and righteous and straightforward. And I think that he may lack a certain empathy because of that. I think that he's on such a straight line of righteousness. Straight line Zank. Straight line Zank. But in fact, I think he forgets that he has much to learn still.
God,
how'd you like that?
You're even humble and you're like,
does Zank come into the game?
Does Zank come into... Zank is a very difficult character to play in the games. He's like playing an NPC. He's a little bit difficult and unwieldy.
Right.
I remember we played like a cast D&D game. I played him a lot like Leroy Jenkins. I just like plowed in and it didn't go well for me.
I think Holga's greatest strength is her loyalty, and I think her greatest weakness would be her hard-headedness.
I think my greatest strength is I'm a positive, good time. And my weaknesses are manifold, manifest. They would probably be selfishness and cowardliness.
Toxic optimism.
toxic.
That's a way to round it up.
Toxic optimism. That's funny.
Edgin's answer was basically a Tinder profile.
Wow.
Strength, I can turn into animals. And weakness is I'm surrounded by idiots.
Oh my.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Very well done. I'm gonna build on that. So the
That's
trailer
really good.
basically presents your characters as like the starting point, the core.
Right.
I'm curious for the three of you where they fit into the group in terms of how everybody else looks at them. Like, are they the smartest? Are they the strongest? Are they the one that nobody trusts as much? How would you describe them in the group dynamic?
Our characters.
Yes, I think Holga and Edgin, based on like them being the starting point, at least as presented in the trailer, they seem fairly like clear, like the leader or the man with the plan that doesn't pan out. And
I'm such a
the
loser.
right hand.
My
Ron.
character's like, she's like always falling in love with all the wrong people. He's always making all the wrong plans.
The
Like,
character has some of the best action sequences I've seen
Yeah, it's
anywhere.
true.
you're kind of perfect. You're mean.
Well,
And you just need to find yourself.
Yeah.
You should have asked someone else to describe the other characters. That was the way to
It's
get
like
at
the
it.
brains, the brawn.
I thought you were the brains.
No, you're the
You're-
brains.
I think
You're the smartest one out of all of us, I think.
Chris is the brains.
Thank you.
You're the
technically.
integrity.
He likes to think he's
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
brains.
You're the
You're really
honor.
brains.
The brain, the brawn, the honor, and the beauty. I think.
I think you got yourself mixed up.
That's what it is. Next question.
Slow down.
Got yourself mixed up, man.
Slow down.
All right, Hugh, I'm coming your way. I want some specifics in terms of his tactics as a leader of this place, because he's a lord now, but he was a thief before. So what does it mean to be a thief turned lord, and how he kind of rules his realm?
well, he's a con man, and yeah, so that's a great asset for a politician.
Justice for you. So you've worked with Jurassic Park dinosaurs. You've worked with Pokemon. You're working with a whole bunch of other creatures in this movie right now.
Giant lizards. All of them had giant lizards in them.
Okay. Of the bunch.
Yeah, that's pretty
Which
awesome.
creature would you say is the best scene partner, and which was the most difficult to work with?
I think the most difficult was Jurassic because we had some practical dinosaurs on it, but in the first one it was mostly tennis balls, so I just had to act like I was afraid of tennis balls. Pokemon, that was just that's so fun. That's like a childhood dream come true. The dragonborn creatures that would walk around set, like they were practically made, and they would drool. There was so much attention to detail, and because I wasn't familiar with D&D before, it helped me further immerse in the world, getting to practically see, oh, this is what a tabaxi looks like. This is what a Aarakocra looks like.
They're so cool.
Do you have a favorite creature of the bunch?
You know what? Those dragon people are awesome. I don't know what you call them in the D&D world because I'm not familiar with the terminology, but dude, those guys just...
They're called Dragonborn.
Yeah, Dragonborn?
Dragonborn.
Oh my God, they're just so cool.
I found them annoying. I remember doing a close-up and thinking, I'm rather good in this shot. And then I went to look at the monitor to see how marvellous I'd been. And in the background, one of these bloody dragon things walks through the background of the shot, and you think, what's that? And obviously no one's listening or looking at me. They're I'm upstaged by this creature. So I would have cut all those out.
I can't let you all go without asking this. I don't know who can actually comment on this and what you can tell us, but is the hope here to continue this franchise and make it a long-running film series?
No.
I'm waiting to see. I was gonna say.
Yeah, I'm like,
I hope so.
let me put my producer hat on and get back
Just
to you on
someone
that.
say yes.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe.
I'd love to be a part of a sequel. I think it's an
I wouldn't
awesome
mind
franchise.
working with you guys again.
I love these
Oh,
guys.
you really mean that, Sophia?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's not bad at all.
yeah.
It's an immensely vast world with limitless opportunities,
Yeah.
and I think that if people enjoy hanging out in that world, they'll probably have an opportunity to do so again.
Okay, I'm going to build on that really quickly because I know a bunch of you have been a part of franchises and sequels before. So what is something unique to Dungeons & Dragons that will make it, an especially promising and really fulfilling world to keep exploring through the franchise format?
Well, I think a lot of people don't know the vast maps that are available. Like, you don't have to stay in the world that we're in. I forget what the name of our map is. Do you remember? No. It includes the Underdark. It includes all of the, Faerun and all of these different locations that you see in this movie. But you're not isolated to that. There are gateways into other games that are steampunk, or you step into other layers. There's about I was having a conversation, and it was about 5 different maps that take you to different style worlds. Some's in the future, some in the past, some seeming ancient, some seeming very close to our current culture. And I don't know. I think that there's many places to go with the worlds that are available.
Yeah, the things about D&D is that there's so much a world building around it that you can try to learn as much as you can about it, but you can't, because they're still making new worlds, and they're still making new characters and new creatures, and players are making new creatures and new worlds, and it's just constantly spreading this universe. So it's can go on forever.
The real joy of it is that it is immense, certainly the way that they've done this movie, it's immensely welcoming to people who have absolutely no idea what Dungeons & Dragons is. My favorite thing about the reactions I've seen from people who've seen it so far is folks who are like, I have no idea what Dungeons & Dragons is. I don't know what any of those creatures are called, what any of those spells are called, but I had an amazing time, because it's just people adventuring through this vastly fantastical, magical world. Discovering themselves is more important than doing the math and rolling the dice. It's a little bit like, the closest thing I can think in my head is a bit like watching The Impossible. Yes, it's a superhero movie, but it's about the people in the movie. And it's kind of the same feeling that I was getting off Dungeons & Dragons from this. And so it's a great welcome mat into a world.
I promise the next time I see you all, I'll stop being a self-conscious outsider looking in, and I will have played and experienced it for myself.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I can't wait to see the movie, and to everybody out there, tickets are on sale now. Hurry up and get them. Woohoo!